What's your name?
My name is Alex Wyckoff. I work for the City of Cupertino in the Environmental Programs Division. Water pollution is a big problem throughout the valley. Calabasas Creek is one of our seasonal creeks, so it doesn't typically have water in it unless we're in the rainy season. But one of the big issues that we're facing, and one of the reasons why we're all down here today, is for litter cleanup. So litter is probably one of the big #1 pollutants that we can all see. There are many other pollutants that we can't see. One of them is, I'm standing on them, and that's sediment. So sediment's like soil, but very fine, that comes off of the land up above. But sediment carries with it pollutants like mercury and copper from vehicle brakes. So that's just one example of the kind of pollutants that you maybe that you're not able to see, like litter, but nonetheless it is something that impairs the creek and the health of the ecosystem here.
1 hour later.
I do. I think that obviously coming down and doing cleanup events like this have a really big impact in keeping litter and trash out of the creeks. But I'd take it one step further and say that what we do outside of cleanup that's preventative, like how are we managing our homes, our businesses, how are the businesses that you patronize, the restaurants you go to, are they clean? Are their back areas clean? Are they doing their part to keep litter and trash out of here? Because if everybody did that, would we need to be down here doing cleanups? Probably not as often. But unfortunately, there is a lot of behavior that's up on street level, as we would say. There's things in your neighborhoods where there's litter, and it all kind of flows this way to the creeks. And then the creeks go to where?
Ocean.
To the bay or the ocean, right, exactly. So that's how it ends up out there. So yes, these events help, but just as much as we're doing our efforts down here to do cleanups, we also, the city and other groups, yourselves included at your schools, can do a whole lot about prevention. And that's kind of where our message is all about prevention.
2 hours later.
I haven't traveled all over the world, but I have been to places where I think there is water pollution. I was in Iceland, if you know where that's at. There's not a lot of people in Iceland. And I went backpacking, and I found litter when I was backpacking in Iceland. And that's a very sparsely populated country. I think that island only has about 300,000 people. That's, Sunnyvale is about 150, so think about a whole country twice as big as Sunnyvale as far as population, and I find litter there, out in the outback country. So yeah, I think it is a problem worldwide, and I think groups like ours, people like you that are interested in the subject, preaching about it, talking about it, telling people about it. This litter is an issue. Creek cleanups are important. Prevention is important. Those are all things that we can do globally, but we first got to get it in our own community. Yes, I do. I could probably talk a lot about that. I'm trying to think about how I can give you a concise answer. But I think part of it is that people don't necessarily know that their actions contribute to the pollution in the ocean. We are probably about 40 miles as the crow flies from the Pacific Ocean. But it's very clear when you start thinking about creeks and how water flows to different, like the San Francisco Bay, for example, or if you're on the other side of the hill, that's going to flow directly out to the Pacific Ocean. We think, well, I'm in Cupertino. I'm far from the ocean. How could what I do impair the ocean? But it does, because we've got a system of creeks that are designed for flood control. And they do a great job because they keep our homes safe. But at the same time, that flood control is a tremendous conveyance for trash. So the creek was designed with the great intentions for flood control to protect property, but it also works against us because it takes trash and brings it out to the ocean.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
As a country that seems to have it right, go and help them and teach them ways to keep that pollution from the water, because as you all know, we're in a drought. Well, our drought will probably change. At some point we're going to get rain, but there are countries that just don't have the rains to rely on, so they've really got to rely on groundwater, and every little bucket of it counts. And if that's being polluted, they don't have a lot of sources from the skies to replenish that. So it's really, really, I think, an issue that they need to work on. And I think as a nation of ours, we should probably be there to help and teach.
Oh, perfect. And that's
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.